Hey, it's Samedi Like Spaghetti, and welcome to our speed build for the Witch's Cove that is live on the Sims Gallery. I had this idea when the curved walls came out. I'm sure everyone else did too, but I wanted to make a witch-inspired, mountainy, cottage cove kind of vibe with the tower. And I was driving around town and there was this home with this beautiful entryway that was like a tower and it had like archways. So that's what inspired this whole build. So right now I am messing with the terrain. So I really like different terrains. I think it's beautiful. We are in Glimmerbrook, so it's just I think it ties in, especially with these rocks from the debug from Realm of Magic. Were so fun. They had so many different curvatures to the rocks, and I just had way too much fun making these rocks the like foundation of the sides of I'm gonna call this a not a mountain, like a hill. And of course we gotta add some natural water. It wouldn't be this cute little cove if there wasn't like a tiny pond that your sim, if they like koi fish, like make it a koi pond. You do you, boo. Alright, so right now I don't know why, but in a couple builds ago, I noticed you could not search the garden past stone, and I could not find it. But luckily, they're back. I don't know if that was a thing. Maybe there was a glitch, and maybe in the new patch update, it changed it. But the garden past stones do make an appearance because they are back, and they're one of my favorite debug items. Like, ew. We need more. We need more path stones. Hint, hint, Simguru. So yeah. I spend an exuberant amount of time, like a ridiculous amount of time on the exterior of the home. I spend the majority of time on this, like trying to see like what flowers work best. Are we going to add mushy rooms? Yes, we're going to add mushy rooms. Um, and then by the end of the build, I play with the crystals I found, and it gets a little campy, but you know, if you live in Glimmerbrook, it's literally called Glimmerbrook. You're gonna have some crystals in your house. So at the end, I decided against using any fencing. It didn't match, and it just couldn't figure it out to where it made sense. But we're using some of the new debug objects from the high school years. They have a lot of great grassy textures. That was good, and then yes, we're adding more rocks. I always find if you add rocks around the elevated areas, it just kind of makes it look a little less brown. Oh, it's just, oh, it looks so good. I love it. So now we're beginning the tower. And it is kind of, I will say, it doesn't connect to the main house because of the different leveling issues. You cannot connect if they're different levels. But I figured this is only used for like witchery, like it turns into where whichever sim decides to live here, the witch will keep the cauldron, and these bricks worked perfectly. Like I'm a little too excited of how that determined my whole color scheme. I was like, okay, we're gonna build around this. So here's the archways I'm told you about. Because we're the curved walls, we're a little limited on where exactly the curves could go. I was kind of hoping it would be right right in the middle. So it's like a little off, but it's not for everyday use. It's just for like when you want to make that big bowl of macaroni and cheese. It's the macaroni and cheese tower. Gotta add some ivy. I always enjoyed the ivy from vampires. It's like how there's some dead in there and it says different text, like different. And I liked the cottage living one, but I just, like I said, deleted it because it kept like going through the wall and I was like, I don't like it. And then the green roof. That's not normally how I do my roofs, but you know, we're literally in nature. Make it green. I will be messing with this tower for a little bit more, but yes, more landscaping. There's, like I said, this is almost not overgrown, but it looks like whoever lives here like takes time to garden the exterior of the home, and it just makes it like, I just don't like the brown. Like, when you do the elevation on that, it's just, I wish there was a way if we could paint it. Like, we can on the ground, we can paint the sides. Because I would make it darker. Like, I would either go darker or more green. Because, yeah. Yes, I did put the flock of birds. They're just, I love them. They're just so cute. And they just, like, give your Sims little gifts. And, you know, you can sing to the birds. Like, wouldn't you want to sing to birds every day? I would. So here's the cauldron. The turquoisey copper one looks amazing. And this is where I found the crystals. So they will start appearing everywhere. Definitely played around with the sizing. And then I added the other two colors where you do, if you do live edit object, you get these crystals. But if you do hidden objects, like show hidden objects, you will get the turquoise and the orange crystals that I used in the rest of the build. Those cheats. I don't even call them cheats. It's more like secret compartment prizes. If you use those, they work. Like they just elevate everything. Yeah, I told you, I go crazy on landscaping, but I don't regret it at all because it's important. So here comes the orange and turquoise crystals. They just were fun. I thought the colors were nice. And it just screams a magical person lives here. And it's a very small home, so once I'm done with the actual home, it's only fit for maybe 2 Sims who are really comfortable with each other. But other than that, there's not a lot of room to expand. But yes, the garden stones! They're back! Bring me the garden stones! They're so pretty. It looks like someone like this found stones and just put them on the garden. And then I was like, sorry. But so we have this nice pathway that leads up to the front entrance of the home. And now finally, after maybe adding diamonds, I added diamond in there. A little hidden gem, but it's like right there. When I'm in the debug menu, sometimes I just put stuff I know I'm going to use later before I begin, because then I don't have to look for it. Now we're beginning on the shape of the house. It looks weird at first, but trust me, it turns out it's all been play tested. I moved a sim in, and it all works. But I did notice they added, with the new update, there was this new tool for the deck, and that's what you saw me just then play with it a little bit. So if you scroll down, there's new options on the build room, which is new. So I went against the curved wall because we already have a curve over there. And if you curved too hard, you'd go into the side of the rocks. So here we are, just messing with the entrance of the home. I know Realm of Magic has like a lot of cool doors and windows. I haven't paid it enough attention. So like my challenge was to infuse like high school years, university, and the Realm of Magic. So the walls turned out really nice. It's like the first time I used one of the wall swatches from, I believe it's university. We'll get to that point. I'll pause and double check, but it's there. And there's just like a lot of outdoor porch areas. I think I removed the ladder going upstairs just because the sim kept going there instead of using the stairs. I've noticed that if you use that little guardrail, they like to climb up that more than actual stairs. I don't know why. Sims are peculiar. And then just had a really fun time with the walls and the windows. They change a lot. I kept going like, oh, this is not right. Yeah, so it is from the university pack is this wall. And it's just so pretty. It's a nice contrast to the tower. And I added the brick on the back side, so it looks like it blends more with with the tower. And these windows, I believe, are from getting together. So just trying to mix some stuff up. You know, I end up covering the windows, but they're there. They're just hiding. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah. I did struggle once I built the weird shape. I do this to myself all the time. I build a uniquely shaped house and I'm like, oh wait, it also has to function. And I realized very quickly, she or he or they or whichever sim witch wants to live here needs to have a little extra room. So I added a second story, which turned out for the better because I was a little worried about the roofing situation. Like, how is this going to work with that weird wall that's slanted? But it was turned into a porch. When in doubt, porch it out. That's what I do. That's my secret to building. If it doesn't work out, just make it look like you made it. You wanted it to do that. Yeah. Adding some more details just to... It looks like a college... I don't know. I really enjoyed building it and using a green roof. I usually don't use green roofs. Sounds like this was the time to use it. This was the time. The only really awkward thing was this part. Like, I tried everything. I put a bell tower there. I put like multiple different fireplaces. I think towards the end I went back and changed my mind for the umpteenth time. But yeah. I think I ended up removing that ladder before I posted it to the gallery, but if y'all want to put it back up, it's nice because it goes straight into the bedroom. That little balcony does. Not that the sim needs to sneak out. I'm assuming a young adult lives here. I don't feel like you need to sneak out of your own home if you pay your own bills. That's just... You just leave. And now for the roofing. I was driving around houses because I've just been stumped on roofing the past couple builds. And not a lot. I just think sometimes I overthink roofing. So I was like, I literally drove around for inspiration. I'm like, I need to see real life roofs to see what would be the most tangible, like realistic. And this is what I landed on. Adding more landscaping because I just don't know when to stop. That's why I don't know if you guys probably, if you're watching mine, I know you watch Miss Griffey because she's way more famous, but she is the landscaping guru. Like, I always am so enthralled with watching her landscape. So it really pushed me to do more landscaping in my own personal builds because at first I was like, who cares? But it does so much. Love plants. So yeah, I was just checking the exterior of the house, make sure I was done, and then we are going inside. So the little room to the left is not its own separate room, but it kind of acts like it is. It's the study. So there is technology in this house. This is not off-grid, even though it looks like it should be. But I used a hidden object to obtain this desk, but it's just too perfect. Like the little crinkled up paper. I love it. It's like, it looks like someone actually sits there and writes stories because you have like the sticky notes. It looks like my desk. My desk, not this one, the other one, is covered in sticky notes because of my ideas. And then the moon lamp. The moon lamp from Werewolves is so cute. I love the moon petals from Werewolves. It's just like Werewolves was like, mwah. And then they gave us High School Years. And I'm still on overload. I haven't even played Werewolves all the way through yet. Anyway, I digress. So, like I said, the interior is kind of like antique meets modern. Like, it's not old-timey. Like, she got a fresh kitchen. Like, it's fancy. It's a nice kitchen. Modern appliances. Like, we have an espresso machine because... Hung up a fancy broom because I feel like if you didn't know that was a broom, maybe that person's a musician. That's kind of obvious. Don't worry, I go back and change that. I have to add a mushroom. I love the mushroom seeds. It's just such a cute little entryway. Alright, this I was actually really excited about. So I was gonna try to make a couch that fit in this corner, but it just wasn't working. I'm like, oh, we have lounge chairs. Like, it turned very 1920s on me very quickly. I don't know how, but it did. But I'm here for it, and it worked. Basically, I just sized down one end table to make it look like it's stacked. Added one of the um, not xylophones, phonographs. So after we're laying out the format of this little like cozy nook, I went and added some like personal touches. So maybe this is where the sim comes and has a glass of wine, kicks off those heels, and enjoys herself. So we had to add the rolling cart. I've never really successfully used this in a build, so I'm excited to see it here. And of course I added some crystal because it goes with the ambiance of the home. So that's the little nook. I find it very peaceful over there. Alright, now we're going to the kitchen, which I hate to admit it did give me some trouble trying to figure out how to make the space work because it's kind of like a rectangle, but I ended up using this little area for a espresso coffee. I am imagining the sim just really loves a cup of joe in the morning. Or like going to go make some boba tea. And since this is a magical sim, I bet the sim has traveled all over. So definitely found the debug postcards and made this look a little bit more lived in. Because right now it's looking too posh. Took me a second to find the corkboard, but at the end this worked really well. Added a little towel and it was just really cute with all the coffee accessories, and I kind of blended it into the cabinetry. Now we're going to our fancy kitchen, which is basically, I wouldn't say fancy, I mean it's functional, it does the job, but throwing that really cool stovetop. Yeah, I added the stovetop from home decoration kit, pack to make it look very clean and crisp. So now I'm adding a little dining room area. Unfortunately, with the space, we can't really do anything more than 3 top. So we just put it there, and it has been play tested. The Sims will walk around a lot, but it's still functional and it can be used. So now we're going to the upstairs bedroom and bath. So you're walking up straight into the Sims bedroom, and at first I thought, oh, I could fit a bed in here easily. Not the case. It didn't work because we're trying to use this patio area, and so you will see me struggle here figuring out, how can I make this work and still have a decent sized restroom? Well, what ended up happening, I pulled out the front wall and added a pillar on the bottom to support it, and so it kind of makes like a little front area porch. Used a hidden object bed, which is completed if you get the highest level in the artist career, but I just love the sunflowers. I figured the sim would want a really warm and bright spot to come and unwind. I mean, this witch is very like, not giving me Glinda vibes, but giving me a bright, airy, bubbly. But I guess that's Glinda. I don't know. Kind of. But not like pink. Just like, oh, I like warm, natural colors. I had to use the new rug from high school years. I really like the texture of it. But it wasn't working. I tried so hard to make it work. I'm sad I ended up taking it down. But the telescope worked perfect right there. The sim can go out at night. Like I said, it's been play tested, so the sim really enjoyed going out there and doing some moon gazing. So the high school years gave us a lot of great furniture items as well, not just gameplay, but it was a lot. I love the boho. Love that wicker chair. I can't. Alright, we're making the restroom, which is about if I believe this is the last part of the home. Making it somewhat nice. Gotta put some curtains over there, but I used the new macrame curtain from high school years. And I think I'm just doing one more check, trying to see which bed would work the best. But the sim does get around. She can use the stairs. The only problem is with the ladder, the sim prefers to go through that way. So I ended up deleting it. But or if you choose to download this, you can totally add that ladder back. I'm doing one last thing. I about forgot the trash can and make a little outdoor picnic area for the sim to maybe just chill after a long day and be in nature. Added a bird feeder for our bird friends. Just checking to see how it looks. And that is basically the end of our Witch's Cove. So if you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like. It is live on the gallery right now if you search Samedi_13. And tune in for some more builds. Thank you. See you next time.